All right, Xfinity, Dover. I'm going to go 14 to 1 here. I always go back and forth between 14 and 16. It's whatever you find comfortable. I find comfortable. We all find comfortable. But 14 to 1, I'm doing +2 on the offset and then 58 on the break. Could go a little bit lower probably. Yeah, I'll go -3 on it. We'll see. We'll see. I think you can usually go as low as you can at Dover because the trail break is all about how early can you get the nose to turn down in the diamond without using a ton of the wheel. In qualifying, though, we don't care about that, so I am going to use the wheel and shred a bunch of tires. But in race run, you don't want to do that, so that's what the brake is for, the trail brake. Let's run a normal entry here. Might do a third lap if we have to. Tires should stay on for around then, but ooh, not when I do that. Okay. I'm gonna chill out and go for a third lap here. Cool down the tires a little bit. Kind of cheat and go third lap because you guys aren't able to do that in races. But whatever. It's all about the lap itself. I'm gonna get a good run up, turn down late here, get a good run off the corner, try not to slide the tires doing it. Try to get a low early entry, let the car slide up a little bit. Then hard exit off. Very good. Now same deal here. A little bit of bumps there. We gotta keep the car under us. Try to not have any inputs through the bumps. Always gets looser off of 4 than off of 2. That's going to be decent. Okay, let's take a look at that. So the run up, I did the start at the top, then turn down to the bottom. The classic. Could even do it more than I did. So it's easier to land into 1 than it is to land into 3. Everything about 1 and 2 is easier than 3 and 4. So what I do here is I just basically just one little moment of brake to land me into the corner because I want my trajectory to be kind of wrapping the corner until I have to slide up. I don't want to immediately start going up the track because then you apex too early. So I pick up the throttle early and try to use my wheel to turn the car back down. This is like how we get lap time in the short term. Because this right here, where I'm using a lot of throttle and using a lot of wheel, this is scrubbing right front. But we don't care about that if we're in the qualifying. So that's why I can get away with that. Then 3 and 4. So this bump right here is pretty gnarly. I try to be obviously I'm not straight wheeled, but I try to limit my inputs as I'm going over this bump and then try to like catch the car as it's evening out. You can see that 3 and 4 just is on edge the whole time because of the bump and how loose the exit is. But I'm trying to do the same thing as 1 and 2, but I just have to be a little bit more defensive instead of aggressive like I am in 1 and 2. That's kind of the difference between the two. 1 and 2, you just attack, and then 3 and 4, you survive. But it's like the same. It's like the same inputs, but different expected outcomes. Like 1 and 2, my expected outcome is to be really smooth and easy off the corner, and then 3 and 4, I'm like, okay, I just got to make sure I don't hit the wall or spin out. Now, when we're actually driving race runs, both corners should start to feel a lot easier because of how we approach them. But it's just when we're attacking the corners that much, that's when it gives us those varying experiences. So the biggest thing about Dover is we do not want to point our diamond in the track with our steering wheel. We want to have our initial steering and then use the brake to kind of turn us back down. So our pedals should be the ones that are getting most of the rotation out of the car. So the initial steering, pedal back down, and see how I didn't have to add any steering all throughout turn 3 and 4 there. And it wasn't slow. So initial steering, then just wait on the pedals. So you can see how because we were able to attack 1 and 2 much more in our hot lap, we lose a lot more time doing it that way. But in 3 and 4, it actually lends itself to it. And look how much easier our exit is. So admittedly, this is a lot slower right now. Oh, jeez, I hit a bump. I don't know that was a bump, that was a thing. As we get later into the run, though, that evens out really quickly. So you might have to do some like short run management where you're pushing a little bit harder. This is definitely going to be a right rear, but it's going to burn both. Like, there's going to be people that end on like 70-70, and there's going to be people that end on like 60-60 tires, 50-50 tires. Because the entrance is really tough on the right front, and the exit has the potential to be really tough on the right rear. Especially with these setups where it just feels like it doesn't land into the corner. So the pedal should be what's doing most of the steering input adjustment mid-corner. So I'm just going to stay on this brake till I kind of am about to turn down, then I use my throttle. Very good. Brake. Throttle. Seems like 1 and 2 is more understeery than 3 and 4 is more oversteery. So I'm putting that in the mental bank for me to be a little more patient in 1 and 2 than in to make sure that I'm not sliding the tires. Okay, that was a lot better. So you can see, it's all about how you manage your line. Should be pretty single groove race. Like by that point in the run, yes, I'm half a second off my best, but it's so single groove that you can be like 0.2 faster than someone per lap, and they can't do anything about it. That's why qualifying is going to be important. But you see, okay, yeah, it really goes a lot more in the rear than the front. So we just got to be a little bit smoother, getting up off the corner, not sliding our tires into the corner, and not getting loose off the corner. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.